What it is, folks, your homeboy Furry back again with another episode of the realest, most entertaining sports show in the game.
Yes, sir.
Put it on something. As always, I'm happy and I'm proud to have my brother Tim G. Jacob Hill with me. T, what the business is, dog?
Atlanta Braves, man. You know, I just had to rock the hat for the evening.
Still repping over there. Still
Still
repping.
repping. Man, just want to shout out, man. I might as well say it. Ain't nothing wrong with me saying it, right?
Right.
But you know, had to pass on a great legend in my family and my grandma.
Mm-hmm.
And you was there in representation of the family and everything. And appreciate all you brothers for just being there for me. But
Right.
you know, had to put my grandma in the ground today. I love her. And hey man, you know, it just is what it is. But we're gonna stoke up the good show for her. I'm sure she probably be over there somewhere telling me, baby, go on, do your thing, baby, because you know, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Right on, right
So,
on. And I was going to let the people know that too, man, as a salute to you.
yeah,
You know what I'm
man.
saying? Because you were there for your family, holding your family down and stuff like that. And for you still to come on to work, you know what I'm saying? After that, you know, to my
Yeah,
that shows dedication on to my. So all y'all real ones out there, y'all send one up for my brother and his family. You know what I'm
please
talking
do,
about.
please do.
And before we get into it, as always, gotta let y'all know this is sponsored by Statement Tees. That Statement Tees, every t-shirt you wear makes a statement. And y'all see the statement that I'm making right now. It's coming across your screen. And yes, I do have it on my chest, but y'all make sure y'all look at it on your screen right now so you get a good close look at that thing. You know what I'm talking about? Because one thing about me, I don't even believe in Black History Month. When I was a teacher, I told the truth all year long. You feel
Right.
me? So if you believe in telling your children the truth all year long, you need to cop that statement T and make
Please
that
do.
same statement. Because
Please do.
it's Black History 365 and 366 in a leap year over here. You understand? But
Yes, sir.
America got a great show for you. I got my brother Tim G. Jacob here with me.
Yes, sir.
But I'm happy to have two of my other brothers here with me as well. Okay. I got my brother Stanley here with me, the Globetrotter himself. Y'all have seen him on here before. Y'all have seen me give him the business on here before, but he's on here today because he is one of the biggest Jackson State supporters that I know, going all the way back to when we were kids. You know what I'm talking about? And I got Mr. Jackson State himself. Y'all know him most definitely. Y'all have seen him on here before, going back and forth with an Alkanite, you know, giving him the business, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
Mr.
love, baby.
There he is. Mr. Thaddeus Reed. I might need to call him Mr. J Hat. You know what I'm saying? He in the Clarion Ledger. You know what I'm saying? He moving them J hats. You know what I'm talking about? And especially people getting mad at us. They cause Travis Hunter put the J hat on, and now you got the boy from Grambling want to try to, you know, do something and try to toss it. You know what I'm talking about? PT, you just got the whole world just buzzing right now with this stuff, man. But we're gonna get into all that. We're gonna get into all that. Because right now, with all the recruiting stuff going on, it still seems like all that was overshadowed by this news. A report came out saying that Jackson State will no longer be participating in the Southern Heritage Classic. Now, America, I don't know if you've been under a rock or you new to this game or something like that. But if you don't know, the Southern Heritage Classic has been a game played between Jackson State and Tennessee State going all the way back to 1990. They played in Memphis. For people I know in my family, my brother's families as well, it was tradition. You go up there to Memphis, have a great time. You enjoy not only the game, you enjoy all the festivities, the restaurants. It made a lot of money.
A whole lot of money.
Made a lot of money for somebody.
It wasn't the schools.
But it seemed like it wasn't the schools. Okay. But before I throw it to my brother PT to kind of elaborate on some of these things for y'all, because he is well connected because he does so much for the university. Let me just say that he ain't just well connected because he knows it or asking questions. He well connected because he puts his money and time into that university. Okay, so when he speaks out on something related to Jackson State, I fucking listen. Okay, and here's what he said when that news dropped. Boy, he'll be going so hard. He said JSU, and y'all see it on the screen right there, America. He said JSU has received less than $6 million from Southern Heritage Classic in the past 32 years. He said, man, we're going to holler at you, Memphis. And then he dropped another one in which he added, okay, he ain't just going to put it out there in the wind. My boy, I know I got the record, don't at me. I got the record, don't at me, okay? But my brother say, he got to bring it to your doorstep. You calling out Jackson State, okay? And I respect it. He said numbers don't lie, but a press release does. Blame Fred Jones. Who? Fred Jones. For y'all young bloods out there, y'all gotta go listen. Y'all know about Mike Jones. Maybe y'all don't know about Mike Jones. Okay, back then they didn't want him. Now how they all on. All right, $21 million annual revenue for this game. Both institutions receive less than 1.5% of aforementioned revenues. Excuse me. Peace out, Memphis. D.I. love. This boy hell. PT, can you please kind of explain to the people why you felt so strongly about the press release and you felt like you had to really push back to kind of protect the integrity of the program in this instance?
Yeah, well, you know, thank you for bringing me on the show.
No doubt.
First, I want to say my condolences to my brother Tim. Hey, I understand. Really, really praying for you and the family. So, want to get that out and let everyone know.
Appreciate it.
As it relates to the Southern Heritage Classic, and I think I've got the same emotions as a lot of the JSU alums. Well before the Prime effect, and shout out to Coach Prime. Really appreciate what you're doing, and well before AD Robinson. Really appreciate what you're doing, and President Hudson. The problem with the Southern Heritage Classic is the people that are winning are not the institutions. We're bringing the money to Memphis. We're bringing the money to Fred Jones and his company, and the schools are not seeing the benefit. Mm-hmm. You know, we're talking about a classic that started from when Jackson State was participating in it since 1990. And to 2021, less than $6 million in revenue, when Jackson State in the next, I would say 2 years, is going to make $6 million in guaranteed games. So you're saying something that's going to take 2 to 3 years for Jackson State to get, that's taking a span of 32 years. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. So I wanted people to understand the facts. Now, I also want to put out there, Jackson State has not made any comments or press release in regards to this. So obviously there's some legal things that are going on, and I'm a little taken back that Tennessee State went on and made those comments, but we're just making comments based off of what was put out there in social media.
Well, here's my thing, man. So, you mentioned how long it's been that this class has been going on, and you've only spoke about this much money that has been given to Jackson State. Okay.
Right.
So do you find any blame in your own institution for what hasn't been done in terms of taking care of the university when you're talking about bringing in the kind of following that you're bringing in year after year after year? Because for the people, I went when I first moved here. I moved here in 90, and I went with my cousins for like the first 2 or 3 years. So it must have just started. Of course, I'm young, so I don't know.
Right.
But it must have just started at that point, and it was a whole thing for us at that point in time. So why so little money, and where was the falter in that versus getting what you really do in terms of the university? I know we were all young then. We were all
absolutely
6, 7, 8 years old, 5, whatever. So why is it now that after 30-something years, we just now really blowing the horn on this?
That's a great question. I would say that I know some ads that have done a great job for Jackson State, and I want to give a shout out to Coach Brady. He stepped in, as an AD when he was the coach. This is before Fuller and Wheeler were hired. And Coach Brady actually went to Fred Jones and asked him, open the books up, open the books, because Jackson State doesn't know what Tennessee State's contract looks like, and vice versa, right? So we want to understand what the numbers look like. There were some things that transpired, from after Coach Brady left, he retired from being the AD, and we had some other ADs that came into the fold, and I'm glad we have Ashley AD VP Robinson. I'll say that. And as soon as he took the job on, renegotiation started within that contract, but it still wasn't where I would say that the university needed to be. And he's been, working on those things, because when you look at just the facts and you look at what that game brings to the city of Memphis, there's no reason why both institutions shouldn't be receiving a minimum of $500,000 a year, just a minimum. And if we want to look at data, we want to look at research, we got to look at comps, right? When you're buying a house, you look at comps. Well, let's look at comps from a classic perspective. That game in Memphis brings approximately 21 million. I've actually had some people to tell me, no, it brings about 30 million. Okay. So when you're looking at that, let's look at the Bayou Classic. Bayou Classic brings in $50 million to the city of New Orleans. In 1999, it was reported that Grambling and Southern both received, after expenses, $600,000 each after expenses in 99. Fast forward to 2021, those two institutions are now receiving well over $1 million for that same game. That's bringing in $50 million to the city of New Orleans. So, Fred Jones, put it on something. Put it on something, Fred Jones.
Right.
You owe us. Run me my money, or you won't be seeing VI Love no more. I mean, it's simple as that. It's simple as that. And
the
again,
price gone up. That would tell
hey, the price gone up, man.
Price gone
Pay me my money, man. Pay me my
money. For a long time, man.
Stanley, what's your take on it, man? I know you are international boy and everything, but I know you still keeping up with your hometown team. So what's your take on this? Because I know you love this game as well.
Yes, sir. First, I want to say condolences to Tim G, Jacob's family.
Appreciate it.
Know what you're going through, man. It's heartbreaking, I know. But the thing is about Jackson State, man, you just got to look at the revenue and the money situation with Jackson State. If you look at it, every other year, that's a home game Jackson State loses on their schedule because they take up this classic. So if you're not bringing in the revenue and money wise to the institution what it should be, then it's gonna be problems for both schools, really, because you're basically just giving the city of Memphis and you loading up somebody's pockets along the lines and the city of Memphis, which sucks for them, but we got to take care of the institution. The institution comes first, and what these schools do, what these players do, these coaches do, these fans do for the college football, for the football team. We got to take care of the institutions first, and that should be the number one thing. So that's why I'm looking at it, and I only hear one side talking, one side speaking right now. So it's we'll see what Jackson State has to say about that coming up.
Now, you know what the elephant in the room is. You know what a lot of folks on the outside looking in either are going to say or they probably already saying it. And that is, what role did Deion Sanders, Coach Prime, play in this? Is people think he coming in and he just shaking up everything, and they already were slick pissed about all the red, and now you got some thinking, okay, this is a traditional game, and now he changing it. Can you speak to Coach Prime's role in this?
I think Coach Prime already spoke up about it on Twitter. I believe it was posted either today or yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
He had no role in the allegations, right, of what's transpired. Because again, Jackson State has not come out with an official statement,
Mm-hmm.
and what he said is, "Hey, my boss, ADVP Robinson, handles all games. He's the only one that could cancel or add games."
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, that's the take on that. But again, this is not. Jackson State alums have been talking about this for quite some time. We are number one in FCS for attendance. So we talk about data again. Let's bring up some data that was
Nah,
just brought up today.
I'm laughing because
Number one in attendance. Over 40, we average over 42,000 fans at home. We number one. You know what Tennessee State is ranked
that's
in
why I'm laughing
FCS?
because I knew he was gonna say
94. Come on, bro. You know what that tells you?
it.
Your fans, your alumni, ain't nobody care. Ain't nobody care, man. Ain't nobody care about Tennessee State. So you know why they came out and made these allegations, this press release.
This boy is so crazy.
We finna lose this money because it don't matter. You got to go out there and go get Southern to play y'all, because anybody else, Fred Jones gonna be giving tickets away in the city of Memphis. He gonna be begging Penny Hardaway to bring the basketball team to come up there in the stands. It might be 10,000 in the stand, and 9,000 out of the tickets gonna be free. Hey, he fumbled the bag. It's his fault.
But
You want to
PT,
blame somebody? Blame Fred Jones.
but PT. For 30 years, Jackson State's been going to accept this. If we're saying that the attendance has been this strong, I believe it's been as strong since the beginning. So why hasn't somebody looked at these books and went, why are we going up here? Or why hadn't this been a home and home kind of thing? We swap work, whatever, whatever the case may be. Why is it that now, we blowing the whistle? That's my only issue with the whole thing. I get it. Like, y'all's cachet is a lot different now than it was in the 90s. You see what I'm saying?
True.
It's a lot different now. So why is it that the institution and the people that were heading up this situation didn't do their part then compared to now? Because see, now y'all can move to them $1 million games, them $500-600 million games now with what you got going on. So it's too easy now to just say, hey, Tennessee State, we done. We out. Y'all want a book? Y'all want some on the books? Whatever y'all want to do to make this right, we can do that. Whoop, whoop, we move on. You got the cachet now, but we talking about 20, 30 years worth of games. You know what I'm saying? Like, who ain't doing what they were supposed to have been doing in the 90s, in the 2000s to make this at least comparable to what, a Bayou Classic, like you mentioned, or something like that. That's my only issue with the whole situation.
So I would say this, if you look into what are we doing differently in the Black community now that we didn't probably talk about in the 1990s, and that's financial literacy, right? So when you go down that route, you have to, everything that I believe is learned behavior. Okay. So we see what hasn't worked maybe those couple of years, and I would say, if you're getting towards that 2000 time frame, or I'm trying to remember exactly when Coach Brady was at AD, we asked for those books to be open. Mm-hmm. Those books didn't open for us, and I don't know what that time period of the contract was, but there has been several times where we've asked to make this right. And for whatever reason, the person that's over it said, you know what, I don't believe you leaving. And technically we haven't said that we're going anywhere. So from a institution standpoint, so I haven't seen an official statement, but based off what Dr. Glover wanted to get out there and mention, hey, I'm not mad at my school if we say we gone. Show me the money. Put it on some.
Since they haven't made an official statement yet, does that leave the door open, you think, that if bruh Fred Jones comes up with the bag. Like he go to the negotiating table. He like, look here, I see how y'all moving. I see the wave. Okay, y'all call my bluff on it. Boom, and he upped the bag. Do you think there's a chance that Jackson State remains in this class? Cause I know the fan base loves this game. I know they do. You know what I'm talking about? You right with the money. You know what I'm talking about? You can't be getting exploited. You know, especially when it's not even in our state, it's not in our city.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy. You see, I keep seeing all the time on my timeline our people talking about leaving here and moving to other places, you know what I'm saying, to go get the job opportunity, you know what I'm talking about? So when you have a game like this that generates such revenue, we need that right here.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about? So we need that right here. So, but with that said, our people still love this game.
They do.
So if bruh ups the bag, do you think there's a chance Jackson State might remain in this class?
I would say there's always a chance, right? Because right now, Fred Jones is smoking out the window. Hey, man, you said leave the door open, but he's smoking out the window.
The boy award. I love this boy award.
Let me say this. This is a family tradition. I think I've only missed maybe 2 to 3 Southern Heritage Classics. When I went in and canceled my rooms based off of the press release, those rooms, you know, we had probably about 4 or 5, $450 for 2 nights, $450 for 2 nights in Memphis. Those, you know, when you think about that type of revenue that the city of Memphis is losing, and then you take a step back and you think about the amount of money that, you know, we can make at other places. We play a classic with FAMU, and the amount of money Jackson State spends in hotels in Memphis for 2 nights is more than they spend in Miami in 4 nights. So you ask yourself, was the city of, everybody talking about the city of Memphis, this is going to be bad, and, you know, Jackson State shouldn't have did this to Memphis. The contract with Jackson State is not with the city of Memphis. It's not with anybody but Fred Jones. And I know I talked about the Bayou Classic, but another thing, the Bayou Classic naming rights is owned by Southern and Grambling. Now, the same thing could have been done, because they do have an exclusivity with the company that puts on the Bayou Classic. The same thing could have been done with the Southern Heritage Classic.
Yeah.
You know, it has to be fair for all parties involved. And we don't know what Tennessee State gets. And at 94 in the country, with, you know, we ain't nobody care. What we care about is Jackson State. And we know that Jackson State has not been done right. You know, for 32 years, less than $6 million. Jackson State will make $6 million in the next 2 to 3 years on guaranteed games.
Well, now let me slide something at you, PT, because I read this and I want you to speak on it. But so Commercial Appeal in Memphis, right? That's the newspaper up there.
Okay.
The Memphis Commercial Appeal. And back in 2016, I found an article and they were talking about the Southern Heritage Classic, and basically, you know, it's coming in there, so they got to do the thing that they always do to give the game some buzz.
Right.
And so it talked about in the article, it talked about how the game is a big fundraiser for both universities, with each receiving $325,000. Said that both schools have collectively received more than $10 million since 1990. And this article was written in 2016. So who's capping is the question, or are they getting given some numbers that Fred doesn't necessarily want to put out there completely, like, you know, what his income is, what he's taking in. Somebody lying somewhere, and I truly believe what you're saying, but you know,
I got the numbers.
I mean, you got the numbers. I know you got the numbers. So you know, I ain't gonna disagree with you, but it's just interesting to me that the Commercial Appeal put that out and said
in 2016 that each institution got $10 million.
Yeah.
So we've put out there from the from the management group that Fred Jones owns, it's less than $6 million that Jackson State has received since 1990. Now in 1991, that game wasn't played in Memphis. I believe that game was played in Jackson. But from 1990 to 1992 and beyond, we hadn't even smelt 10 million.
Right.
Let alone seeing that type of number. And then on top of that, you're talking about the money that we're receiving or the university's receiving. They got to pay expenses out of that too.
Yep.
Right.
So you take 325 is the max that we've, I guess, ever received. I think it's 325, 315, 325. Take expenses. 2-night stay for the football team. In America, we know everybody love the Boom. Ask yourself why the Boom stopped traveling on Friday and why they started going to the game on Saturday. Because the money wasn't there. The money wasn't there. Financial literacy. We understand our value. We understand our worth. We're not doing that no more. Shout out to President Hudson. Shout out to AD and VP Robinson for understanding Jackson State's worth. And I can't wait until they put something out official, because all of this, we're just going off of speculations on a press release by a university that we don't have a contract with. Hey, we love all our HBCUs, but we got to take care of self, right? We got to take care of self work first. So obviously,
personally, I wouldn't say nothing. I wouldn't even say anything unless it needs to be said.
And if they wouldn't have said,
I wouldn't say nothing.
If they wouldn't have said anything, we wouldn't be having this segment right now. We didn't finish the deal this year. We got the SWAC championship. We knew that was gonna happen, and we're gonna back to back on that. But man, the way we gonna clown in Atlanta in 22 is gonna be crazy, because I know Atlanta still wish Jack State was back there. So if the Southern Heritage Classic was in Atlanta, it wouldn't be no problem. They'd be like, no. Whatever money you want, we need them people back. Because they were here for a whole week. I spent Christmas in Atlanta. That ought to tell you something.
America, y'all chime in. We want to hear from y'all on this one, okay? For real. My brother had spelled it out for y'all eloquently. You know what I'm talking about? Giving y'all the full rundown on it. You know what I'm saying? But we want to hear from y'all. Tell us what y'all think about the report. I'm just going to say the report, because as he said, officially Jack State, as I tape, okay, has not made a statement on it. So what y'all think about the report that Jack State is supposedly pulling out of the Southern Heritage Classic? Put it on something. My kids wanted me to tell y'all to make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me across all social media platforms, like the videos, and share them. Did I forget anything?
And turn on the post notifications.
Y'all heard them. And also, visit StatementTees, LLC.com and shop with us. That's Statement Tees. Every t-shirt you wear
makes a statement.